Hey guys, Paranormal Video Gamer here, and this is going to basically set the stage for my review of Masters of the Universe. So, Masters of the Universe is an interesting one. It's an interesting IP. I remember when I was a kid, I had all the action figures, and it has a very special place in my heart, to say the least. I watched the movie when it came out in 1987. I was 7 years old at the time when that came out, so you can understand how young I was. I thought He Man was an awesome character. I thought all the characters were really cool. When you're a kid, that's what you think. I thought the same thing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I kind of got out of He Man after the movie came out. And I think it's because of how bad that movie was. For me as a kid, it was a bad movie. So even though the first Masters of the Universe movie came out in '87 and it was bad, today I can look back at it and think fondly of it because I went to the theater with my dad and my one brother. We watched it. My dad looked at me and said, "What'd you think?" And I had been watching, I think it was the cartoon, like the night before or 2 nights before. And I looked at my dad and I just said, "I didn't like it." And my dad goes, "Oh, well, sometimes you'll go to a movie and you just don't like it." So, my thoughts on the remake. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Reason I didn't love it: it's an old IP. It is an old movie series or an old idea. Is it the right time to put out a new toy line of Masters of the Universe? Is it the right time to resurrect He Man as a character? No, no, no. He Man, in my opinion, died after that movie, the one in '87. He Man as a character died because of that movie. I don't think people realized how bad that movie was when it came out and how much money everybody lost, from the director to the actors, everybody involved. It didn't really follow the spirit of He-Man, and I think that's what kind of killed the franchise because it had been going very strong. Like, I remember people talking before the movie came out about how that movie was like, so everybody was looking forward to it, and then when it bombed hard. So when I saw this movie and I watched it, I thought about that movie from '87, and I thought, okay, is this better than that movie? Yes, absolutely. It's much better. It follows the characters a lot better. It has a sense of humor. It doesn't take itself too seriously. This is the part that I need to say because I saw a lot of people talking about this, and the majority of the people I agree with. Skeletor, Jared Leto. Did he do a bad job? No. Was this role right for him? No. To me, and maybe it's because I wanted to actually see prosthetics involved with, like, the way that they did the first He-Man movie in '87. They had prosthetics all over the guy's face to make his face look like a skull. I was kind of hoping for that, and then when I saw the pictures and the trailer of this new movie, I was like, I hope that's prosthetics, because if it's not, and they just put CGI on that face of his, or made him wear a green paint scheme and then put the face on him, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be disappointed because I was expecting something similar. I want to see the mouth actually move. I want there to be articulation where you could see the muscles from the cheeks here, the muscles from the side of the face here move. I wanted to see that because in the cartoon, even though you don't see all the details, when you watch an HD version, you see the little tiny things that they put in. Little tiny, little details that when you're a kid you don't see. When Skeletor talks, if you look very closely, you literally see what looks like the bone from here on the side. It looks like it's snapping and then going back into place. It looks like, and you can't zoom in. I don't know if that's even possible. But if you look at it, it looks like the bone is actually separating to be able to give him the speech so he can move the muscle or the jaw because there's no muscle there. That's what I was kind of hoping for. Not going to lie. Is it a terrible performance? No. But the makeup kind of throws you off. Now, his voice, very cool. I love the low dial tone that he gave. But again, it boils down to the looks do not match the voice. Like, his voice does not match the overall shape of the face that they've done. A lot of people were talking about. A lot of people are like, they saw the movie and they're like, this was a good performance, poor execution of the material, like the actual graphical material. Now, was it a good story overall? Did they tell the story correctly? Not really from what I remember. I'm going off of my memory, so I don't know all the facts about He-Man. I don't know everything that there is about He-Man because, again, I was 7 years old when this film came out and probably younger when the little toys came out and I was a kid. But what I remember, they start off in the movie where he's an adult reminiscing about his childhood, about what happened that made him into who he is, okay? Which is a little weird because I expected a backstory, but I expected a backstory where they show him as a kid going through everything he went through, which they did, and they explain it though in like a backstory type of thing, and then they bring him into adult, which it just doesn't work for me. Sometimes it does work in a movie, sometimes it doesn't. This does not work for me. So, what I was expecting that they were going to introduce him and say, okay, this is the future of the kingdom. He's a kid. Things happen. I'm not going to spoil everything that happens in the movie, but he's a kid. This happens. He becomes a man. And when he becomes a man, things change. And then I was expecting it to go from there. That did not happen. So I am a little disappointed. Do I think that this is a bad movie? It's not a bad movie. It's not. It's just not a great movie. It's not a memorable movie. I'm going to see this one time and then that's it. Probably never going to watch it again. I'm not going to buy this on DVD or Blu-ray. This is a one and done type of movie. And if I had to give it a rating out of 10 stars, to me, it's a 7, maybe an 8. Better than the one in 87, because that one's like a dumpster fire. That's like 3 or a 2. This is better. Is it worth watching multiple times? No, it's not. But this is a better movie overall. Again, not perfect, not the greatest movie I've ever seen. It follows the character to a certain degree. It gives you a little bit of backstory. But it kind of jumps around a little bit, and then you're kind of scratching your head like, I don't remember that. Because again, when I was growing up, 7 years old, you don't remember everything part of the story. I had to look up a lot of information as I'm watching the movie because there's a lot of things that I don't remember. Like a lot of the characters, I remember certain characters like Lockjaw. By the way, the actor that played Lockjaw, that dude is freaking awesome. I hope if they do another movie, and I doubt they will, but if they do another movie, they need to bring him back because that dude was awesome in the movie. That was probably the one thing that made me give it a higher grade is they got the casting of Lockjaw correct. And that dude played the character so well, and it was so cool to actually see him in the film and him look like Lockjaw. So again, in my opinion, Master of the Universe is a 7, closer to an 8, so 7.5, maybe even close to an 8 total. I cannot recommend it, but I can't say not go see it because it is better than 1987 movie. That is unequivocally yes. Hope you liked the review. I'll see you next time.